Hello, I'm Peter Newman. This week in AHRI Insight we're talking about the American weed Palmer Amaranth, or pigweed as it's also known. Now many of you would have heard that there's a big problem with glyphosate resistance in pigweed, particularly in the southern states of the USA, and now the companies have come out with some new genetic traits, dicamba tolerance from Monsanto or 2,4-D tolerance from Dow Agro Sciences, and these are good new tools for the farmers. Steve Powers got talking to Jason Norsworthy from the University of Arkansas, and they decided to do some research, a little bit like Roberto Buzzi's research on low doses, to test how robust these herbicides were going to be. So they took Palmer Amaranth, a susceptible population, exposed it to a range of doses of dicamba, the new trait. So dicamba kills pigweed, and now there's dicamba tolerant soybean and cotton, and they did the low dose study. So what they did was, if we have a normal dose response curve here, where we have the survival percentage of the weeds as we increase the dose of dicamba in grams active here, at the label rate of dicamba is out here, but at a quarter dose we have some survivors. So as they do with these low dose studies, they took these survivors, made them cross-pollinate with each other. It's called recurrent selection, and then did another dose response curve on that progeny. And sure enough, as they did this recurrent selection over 3 generations, they saw dose response curve shifts out here to the point where after 3 generations, where they did a quarter dose, then a half dose, then a 3/4 dose, then a full dose, they found that they had 25% survival at that label rate, or roughly a 3-fold increase in tolerance to dicamba. They also found a 2-fold increase in tolerance to 2,4-D. So it's great news that the farmers have some of these new tools, but it seems that the new tool may be a little fragile. So putting it in perspective, a 3-fold shift in resistance isn't enormous. That some of these studies, you might get a 40-fold shift with some herbicides and some weeds. So a 3-fold shift is a small shift, but it's a warning sign nonetheless that these new traits and these new herbicides need to be treated with care in the USA. For more information, take a look at AHRI Insight.